Today we'll be reading out information behind the scenes associated with the classic Doctor Who serial, The Wheel in Space. I may be speaking a bit too quickly, so do slow down the playback of this video if you feel so inclined to. The working title for this story was The Space Wheel. This story marks the first appearance of the teardrop motif on the Cybermen's faces. This image would become iconic for the race, appearing on later redesigns before being retired in Earthshock and renewed in Rise of the Cybermen. Unlike future appearances, the teardrops appear on the centre of their mouths' bottoms as well as on the corner of their eyes. This story is the first to have an incidental music score as well as sound effects provided by the BBC's Radiophonic Workshop. Only episodes 3 and 6 of this 6-part story exist in the BBC archives. Episode 6 was transmitted from a 35mm black and white film telerecording and retained in the BBC film library, although episode 5 was not. This was because all studio material was telerecorded on film instead of being recorded on videotape. No VT copy of this episode ever existed. A private collector obtained a 16mm black and white film telerecording for episode 3 and returned it in 1983. The Radio Times program listing for episode 1 was accompanied by a line illustration of 2 Cybermen and a Cybermat by the artist Russell, along with a black and white head and shoulders shot of the Doctor, with the accompanying caption, "At 5:15 today, Doctor Who, Patrick Troughton and the TARDIS crew begin a new adventure which will bring them up against their old enemies, the Silver Cybermen." A clip from The Evil of the Daleks is used for a sequence in the TARDIS at the end of episode 6, where the Doctor shows Zoe what she may face if she travels with him. This was used as a way to introduce a repeat of The Evil of the Daleks the week following the original broadcast of The Wheel in Space episode 6. However, the clip used is actually from the end of episode 1, rather than the beginning of the extant episode 2, meaning that this story contains a few frames of footage from the currently missing first episode of The Evil of the Daleks. The incorporation of the repeat screening of The Evil of the Daleks into continuity remains a unique circumstance in the history of Doctor Who, and indeed perhaps television in general. Although clip shows are common, in which flashbacks to past episodes are featured and are sometimes in science fictional contexts incorporated into the plot, this was a case where the production team actually incorporated a reliving of the events of a complete storyline into the continuity of the series. We'll continue in episode 3 of this retrospective. Thank you.